Hey guys, welcome to Mavismith podcast number 34.
Yep.
I'm Mav and I'm joined by GFA. If you don't know what Mavismith is, it's a content creation company owned by both myself and GFA. We have a YouTube channel where we upload content ranging from short films and music videos to anything we want. We're open to suggestions, just to stream games at twitch.tv/Mavismith, which is where this podcast is being live streamed to. You can catch us all on social media under Mavismith, but we mainly focus on Instagram. So make sure you follow us on there. We are joined by no one today. Topics today range from movie reviews to pretty much it. We're quite chilled on topics today. We're gonna just have a good time. That's what we're gonna do, right?
Yeah,
How you doing? You right?
I'm good, bro.
Good.
Clayman said, just to address the chat straight away. Clayman said, can't GFA say this? Yes, I can, but I just didn't feel like it.
Yeah, you gave it to me at the last second.
Basically.
But we're here and we're now live. Now, we haven't really got much to talk about today, but we're gonna just go for it. We're gonna talk about whatever we want.
It's a great start.
Absolute great start. We would have been joined by our friend, but it's his birthday today, so happy birthday, George.
Oh yeah, it's Car's birthday.
The guy who took over the stream has been helping us out recently.
One that hacked our stream.
One that hacked our stream. Yeah, no. So what is this podcast number? What, 34?
It is number 34, indeed.
Struggling to get through this. These 30s.
Yeah, like everything. Yeah, you just don't know which is what.
I don't know
what's
what's
which.
what and which is who. Right, let's get straight in then with a question from Jacob. We all feel the same about Star Wars, but have you boys seen the new Han Solo trailer? Well, you take this one because I'm not a Star Wars fan, so
Yes.
you take it away.
Okay, so yeah, I have seen it. I don't know if I was really that kind of excited for the Han Solo film in the first place. I really, really like Star Wars films in general. The latest one was a bit meh, and obviously the prequels were a bit meh. But no, I mean the Han Solo one looks pretty good. I can't say that it doesn't look good because the new trailer looked pretty cool. But I don't know. I haven't got the same sort of It was the same feeling for Rogue One. I wasn't like absolutely buzzing to see it, and I don't really feel like I mean, I'll see it. I'll go to the cinema and spend money, but I'm not fussed. That's sort of my verdict. You haven't seen the film, but pretty much your feeling about the last Star Wars film is how my feeling is going into this film, even though it hasn't come out yet. I'm not really fussed.
Well, that's the thing. I don't really care. So my opinion is based on the film alone. I'm not going to take into consideration like how good it used to be or how good it is or how good it's going to be. I just like it for it, and it just doesn't ring any bells for me. It ain't doing anything for me. It's not making me excited any way possible. I did watch the trailer the first one round, and again, it just looks like battles in space. It just looks like a couple of ships flying around,
Star Wars,
doing some doing some lightsaber type stuff. So yeah, Star Wars to me is kind of lost. Unfortunately, it just doesn't do anything for me. What do you think? Think of the last Star Wars? You liked it, didn't you?
Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. I enjoyed it up to the bit, and I mean, it's been out for 4 months now, so spoilers. You go jump out window at this point, basically.
Please don't.
That was kind of a little segue into what I hated about it, but I enjoyed it up to the bit where Princess Leia, who obviously Carrie Fisher plays in the films, who is also in real life deceased. The bit where she does about 17 cartwheels into space and nails it, and somehow survives in no atmosphere and no oxygen and in a vacuum in space.
And is given an 8 on Strictly Come Dancing.
Yeah, and then she sort of does like a little witch thing, and she does the false pull, and she's like, and then she flies across, and she's like, and then she's back through the door, and everyone's like, oh my God. And I was like, right, that ruined the film for me. Past that, the fact that also 2 lightsabers do not clash in any point in the film. That is the first Star Wars film that doesn't have 2 lightsabers.
They do at the end, don't they? In the
Nope.
forest?
Nope.
Oh.
In the forest? What film are you watching? That was the other one. That was the one that came out like 2 years ago.
Oh, right. Okay.
There's absolutely no section of that film where two lightsabers connect.
I was like, what, in Star Wars?
Yeah, well, there's no bits where a sort of like one lightsaber, another lightsaber. There's no sword fighting, right? I'm all about sword fighting.
We're all about sword fighting here at Mavismith.
So no, that's the first film that's happened in. That was kind of. Meh.
Well, all right. Well, anyway, do you want to let's get onto some topics then? So you want to talk about Conor McGregor?
He'll do nothing. I want to talk about Conor McGregor. Yes, I do. The boy has been very silly. The boy, he's acted like a boy. The man. I don't even want to say that because he'll find me and beat the shit out of me. The bloke, he's an idiot, isn't he? So at the end of the day, I mean, I'm sure everyone's seen the news, and if you haven't, Conor McGregor, UFC fighter, the guy who boxed Floyd Mayweather earlier this year as well, or sorry, late last year. Arguably one of the biggest UFC fighters, or the biggest UFC fighter there's been in a long time. He's pretty much built the whole sort of stigma and the whole notoriety of the whole sport. He assaulted other UFC fighters whilst they were in their bus. He brought loads of his mates down. They ran and they assaulted the bus. They were chucking things, smashing all the windows. People inside got cut by glass. People were terrified and injured and blah, 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 blah. And basically, I'm assuming the coach company, along with some of the actual fighters that were injured, are suing him or planning to sue him. Not sure how much money they'll get from him, but he's got enough to really go around. But he was very, very silly. And basically, he just let anger and I'm assuming alcohol get the better of him.
Did you see the point of view from inside the bus?
I did.
You saw it?
Yeah.
There's so many memes of him like after his phone it, he's like proper like
yeah.
So many memes. We were talking about it briefly the other day, and we were saying about how about how like he's just turned to his wife, and he was like, "I'm going on a trip."
Yeah,
I'm going on a trip. He said, "Don't do nothing stupid." He's like, "I won't." Lobs a keg carrier at a bus full of people. Apologies.
I don't know what he was thinking. I believe the reason he did it in the first place was because there was like some sort of argument or some sort of little spat happened with one of his friends who's a UFC fighter and the guy that was fighting. And rather than building a fight about it, which is what the UFC and the sport's about, and taking him into the octagon and kicking his head in, he decided to assault him outside of the sport. So he's committed quite a few crimes, and it's like, well,
but all we'll do is get a fine.
Yeah, he won't go to prison. He'll get a fine, and might get a ban from UFC. I don't know. I mean, Dana White is going mental about it, and they're saying he's going to fire him. He said it's much bigger than just firing him. The owner of the UFC. Oh, no, he sold it, didn't he? Dana White sold the UFC, right? For billions, if I remember correctly. Anyway, Dana White he basically the guy who created the UFC. The bald guy, the big fat bald guy, does all the conferences. He like sets all the fights up. He's like the spokesperson for UFC.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So he So who owns it now? Not him.
I think I don't know who owns it. I think he still does, but I think he sold off shares in it. I can't remember, but I just remember hearing the news that he had made a deal to like step down from like the head of the UFC, and it was like a multi-billion or multi-million dollar. I think it was like a multi-billion dollar deal.
Fair enough. All right. Well, I mean, he should go to prison. He should go to well, I don't know, because he didn't. No, what do you reckon? If like you went out and did that, what do you reckon? So
in my eyes, what he's done. It's assault, which I mean, you can go to prison for, obviously, and not vandalism, but I suppose battery. He's damaged property. So he smashed a window and whatever. If you went out and you smashed a car window, you'd probably get community service and a large fine. If you had injured someone in the car, you might very well go to prison, or they might press charge on you, and especially in America. Do I think he should go to prison? maybe for a little while. I don't think it's not like a case. It's not like, you know, you shouldn't. At the end of the day, you shouldn't waste space in prison like 3 years, let's say, or 2 years, or even a year. Is ridiculous considering all we did was chuck something through a window. You know, I know it could have been a lot worse, but at the end of the day, someone got a little cut on their forehead from the glass, and he shook a few people up. That was kind of it.
Yeah, but he did it with intent.
Oh yeah, of course, but you can't. I don't think you should be able to prosecute someone with the intent to do something. Although, you know, they do. In the intent, you know, the intent to commit murder, you get arrested for that. I suppose there's a line, and I think because he's rich, he won't cross it. If it was one of us that did that, then yeah, definitely we would go to prison.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, like it's one rule for one and one rule for another, right? But yeah. Anything else you wanted to talk about on that at all?
No, not on the whole Conor McGregor thing. I sort of wanted, you know, what other people's opinions, what they think should happen to him, and what they think of the situation. You know, was he in any way just to do what he did?
Yeah, fair enough. Well, I'm just jotting down a couple of.
Yeah, I'll quickly, whilst you're doing that, there's a topic that Clayman mentioned. One of our viewers in Twitch, for anyone that's listening on SoundCloud, iTunes, or Blueberry Podcast Player FM, any of those podcasts, Spotify, which we haven't got into yet, or Google Play. Clayman, one of our viewers, mentioned that the first electric plane has just been finished. Is that right? I haven't got any research on this. It's just a comment in the chat. So just a very brief overview. We're not going to talk about that specific plane because I don't know anything about it or whatever's happened. It may or may not be actually the first electric plane. Okay, well, let's just talk about electric planes. Forget the first one never built, first one never used commercially. Let's just talk about electric planes in general. Good idea?
Yeah, nay. I mean, anything to lower the price.
Yeah.
Of travel. I mean, you look at you're gonna look at what's it called? You look at You look at Australia. You can get to Australia now in like 17 hours. Like direct flight. When you happen to get to here from Australia, before you would have to do 24 hours, change over in Hong Kong or Dubai, and then get a plane from there to here.
Mm-hmm.
So to go from 24 hours down to 17 hours, that's record timing. Still an awfully long time.
Yeah, but it's a big world.
Yeah, and then obviously, but then they've found a way for us to go from London to New York. Takes 18 minutes, and it's the same price as a plane ticket. Apparently so.
That's the concept anyway. That's Elon Musk's concept.
Elon Musk, he just blows my mind. Like, some people are just made to, some people are just made to be visionaries, I guess is the word.
I think everyone could be a visionary. It's just
no. Could you think up what Elon Musk is thinking up?
If I had his money. I mean, the whole concept. If I had his money and his company,
could you imagine?
I mean, the concept of getting around the world quicker has always been played around.
Some of the people that we went to school with, can you really imagine them standing up there and being like?
Well, but then some of the people I went to school with used to eat chalk and. You
talk about yourself again.
No.
Yeah.
But no, some people used to go with used to eat chalk and shove pencils up their nose and stab themselves in the hand and complain that it hurt. I mean, I don't think those kind of people had it in them. No, but when I say anyone that can do it, I believe that if anyone in his situation, being a successful business person, that's the hard bit in my eyes. Being a visionary, I think every person that's ever lived has had some kind of idea in their head that has either been done by someone else eventually, or hasn't still been done, but they don't want to go through with it because they can't be bothered or they don't know how to approach it. But there's loads of ideas, technology wise, that people have that they just haven't done anything with. I think every person on the planet has thought of something like, I really wish I had this, like a specific device that could do this or that, but because they don't have any know-how or anyone to help them, like engineers like Elon Musk does, to help them figure it out. I mean, Elon Musk's part of this might have just been, right, I want to figure out a way to make plane travel quicker, which is something that's been played around with since the Concorde, for Christ's sake. You used to be able to get a Concorde from London to New York in 2 hours, and then they commissioned it because it was too expensive and it was just not economical.
Did you see the Concorde fly at all?
Yes, I saw the last ever Concorde fly.
It flew over us, didn't it?
It flew right over us. I was playing golf at the time with my dad, and funnily enough, my dad. And and my brothers, and I just remember hearing it really loud, and I was like, "What is that?" And then I looked up and saw the Concorde fly over. I was like, "God damn, that's a Concorde!" And at the time, I had no idea it was the last ever flight because I wasn't keeping up with it. I looked up and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I didn't think anything of it. Then when we went home, saw in the news that it was the last ever flight. I was like, "God damn!"
Well, we knew, and it flew over our house, and we saw it. We didn't fly
cool.
straight over; it flew like you could see it from our
Yeah.
house. Yeah, no, but crazy. Yeah, so carry on. So Concorde got shut down. The Concorde got shut down because it was too expensive. But then I mean, it's
They blamed it on the crash, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, I mean, it's only a matter of time until you know.
Well, there'll be ways to travel around the world quicker again, as there always is. There's all kind of things being built every day. So, yeah, no doubt.
So just looking here, it's just come out that Black Panther has topped 1.3 million. It's the third biggest grossing film. So I just want to see what the other ones are. You know, I'm trying
the third biggest grossing film ever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna guess what the other two are. Whenever you're ready, I'll guess.
It has nothing to what you think it is.
No, I'm gonna guess anyway.
All right.
Titanic.
That was third.
They've just been trumped by Black Panther. Okay. Trump. Huge.
Huge.
Well, the other two would be then Titanic, Pirates of the Caribbean.
No.
That's the most expensive one made.
That's number 3. Oh, no, that's number 23.
Okay, that was one. That was the most expensive, not the highest grossing.
It peaked at 3 though.
Oh, what else made a lot of money that I can think of? It's something just outrageous, like Avatar or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Avatar is that number 1?
Yeah. Avatar's number 1. So I think this is a little bit. This is from April. This is from the 6th of April. This is from 3 days ago. This is how it went. It went Avatar, Titanic, Star Wars, Jurassic World, The Avengers, Furious 7, Age of Ultron, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. Iron Man 3 is in it. The Minions is 15th, for crying out loud. Right. No, so let's go back. So it says here that it overtook Titanic.
Okay. So Titanic's now third and it's now second. Because you said Avatar, Titanic.
It passes Titanic and it is the third.
So what's the
Titanic
second?
must be fourth then.
Yeah. So what's the second?
So or maybe it's Titanic is the third. In that case, let me just have a double check. Just what happens when you don't plan anything. So let's have a look at his Twitter page because people love social medias. Okay, they've put nothing up there. Okay,
cool.
Surely you would if that was your film, but right. Let's just carry on from here then. So it has surpassed Titanic, so that would mean it was second. Marvel superhero film Black Panther has risen even higher on the domestic box office chart, sinking 1997 fan favorite Titanic to become the third grossest film in North America.
You know, whoever wrote that article was sitting there going sinking as they're typing it out, like laughing about their own little pun.
He's like just texts his like wife or like she's texted his husband and gone, "I've done it." What you'll see. Black Panther now sits at an astounding $665.4 million. And Titanic reached 659. Well, The Force Awakens at 936 million.
Ooh.
Bloody hell. Anyway, yeah, no, so yeah, that's incredible. I don't think that. Would Black Panther do as well if it was an all white cast?
I don't think so. I think the reason that film did so well is because it was a movie about sort of empowering and I don't know, breaking that racist barrier in Hollywood. And I think because it's a film that's predominantly black people, it's had so much support because the world genuinely does want to become less racist. So it's something that I think has had so much support, not only from the black community, but also the white community. I mean, we love the film, you know, and I think there's this thing in Hollywood where there's not enough of that, and I think that it's helped just slingshot and really propel that film forward, because it's a topic that people don't like talking about, but realistically there is racism in Hollywood, and it's really nice to sort of see a film that's done that well. But I have to say, unfortunately, it wasn't the best Marvel film, and I think it's only done as well as it's done due to that fact. That sort of propelled it. Not that that's a bad thing. I mean, it's a great thing that it's helped, that it's empowered so many people and made so many people feel, and not even just black people in general, but also like the whole thing of women as well, because there's a lot of really fundamental women actors in that film, or women roles that are really huge parts of the film. You know, you've got Michonne from The Walking Dead's in it. She plays, I can't remember the name of her character, but the spear woman. You've got the little sister, Black Panther's little sister, she's really cool. Like, she's like Q from James Bond. So there's just so many good characters in that film. I think they've.
I didn't like her character. I hated it.
I really liked it, but I'm a bit concerned.
It's just the same thing as it is. Exact same thing. It wasn't new or different.
Who? Which one?
The girl that did.
Got Q. I liked her because I liked how excited she got about technology, and that reminded me a little bit of how like Robert Downey Jr.'s character was in the first Iron Man film, like excited about new technology. I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic in Infinity War when they meet. However, will they try and kill off Iron Man and have her replace him as like the technology genius that builds all the suits and stuff? Because she builds all the Black Panther suits.
Iron Man.
No, I don't think she'll become Iron Man, but she'll become like the technology guru who builds all their stuff. Because at the moment, Iron Man builds all their lairs, all the places they live, all their technology, all their suits. Like, you know, where Captain America gets a new magnetic arm that brings his shield up in Age of Ultron and stuff like that. That's all from Iron Man building prototypes for him. And you hear in Spider-Man, you hear Thor's hat or Thor's weapon or something. She says, she goes, "Oh, well, have you got Thor's new weapon on board or Thor's new shield on board?" And she said, "Yeah, it's all secured," like hinting that he's going to have a new weapon in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Which obviously he does, because in Thor Ragnarok, his hammer goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Okay. So. Yeah, no, so I don't know. I mean, are you excited for Infinity War?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah. I think I'm worried it won't be good, but I'll see it anyway. So I'm excited to see it. Regardless of if I think it's going to be good or bad, I'm excited to see what happens. I'm worried, but I'm excited.
I don't know. I'm a bit. I don't want them to, you know, I don't want them to kind of ruin it. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a bit worried that they're going to just destroy the entire franchise and it's going to end on a bad note.
Oh yeah, very possibly, but that doesn't mean I'm not excited to see what they do. If that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it can't be worse than the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic.
Which you need to still see.
I'm not going to waste an hour of my life to watch it.
It's not an hour, unfortunately. It's more than that. Yeah. All right. Anyway, let's move on to something else. Right, what else have we got? One of our viewers just said, "I don't think Marvel can afford to fuck it up. It would destroy everything they set out to do." Yeah, but no one really aims to fuck up their film, do they?
Yeah, exactly.
So
it just kind of happens with the film.
All right, okay, this is what I saw earlier. I didn't tell you. The new Game of Thrones season will feature a battle scene that took 55 nights to shoot. 55 fucking nights to shoot. I'm so excited because of how good the battle of the bastards were.
Well, first of all, the fact that it's nights is pretty cool. It's obviously a nighttime scene. Yeah,
well, people were like shooting in night so that you can't see mistakes.
It's good point. Yeah. So I think that's quite a cool thing. That it's obviously it's going to be a night battle. I'm assuming it's going to be a big battle against the White Walkers and the humans. I think they've done it at night so they can have the dragon fire light the sky. If I'm honest, I think that's quite possibly why they've chosen to do it at night, other than the mistakes. Obviously, it's huge. I mean, I don't know how I thought, wasn't Battle of the Bastards like 36 days or something?
No, I don't think so. I think it was less than that. Game of Thrones. I'm not entirely sure. No.
I know it was like a really big budget and it took quite a long time to shoot. I think if I remember correctly, it was quite it was a lot of money and it was a big shoot. It was like the biggest battle scene that's ever been shot on a TV series or something ridiculous. It had the most amount of extras, prosthetic horses, real horses, swords, fake swords, real swords, fake bodies, not real bodies, just loads and loads and loads of stuff that just littered the field. So yeah, I think it's I don't know. I think we're in for a treat next series. Although it's the last series and the latest season that just came out of Game of Thrones was a bit like meh. It was good. It was really good, but it was a bit like they rushed it just to get it over and done with.
Oh, they got rid of. Wait, sorry. What exactly did you just say
About what?
about that? What did you just saying?
About Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Just how they rushed the last season.
Oh, the last season. Oh, I thought you said the episode. So I was just reading here. I was trying to find out what okay, this is it. So right, so the episode, according to the director Miguel, in subsequent interviews, the original version of the battle that they had intended was unfilmable and changed significantly by the final version. So he correctly estimated that filming such a complex fight scene with 70 live horses would take a large amount of production time, on the scale 2 or 3 times longer than they had budgeted for filming it. So they ran over time, and in the final 3 days, they just had to cut it down. That's probably why he died so quickly. It just ended with him at the castle, and they were at the castle as well.
Yeah.
I still thought it was awesome.
Oh, it was incredible.
The result was that 3 full days of scripted scenes, which composed the original climax of the battle, were abandoned.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, the plans for the original climax of the battle. Well, obviously, it still had the same ending where the same person won.
The original draft of the episode had Jon's final confrontation with Ramsay occur on the battlefield. Once he penetrated to the very rear of the Bolton lines where Ramsay was, in subsequent drafts, they decided it had more dramatic for Jon to actually confront outside the courtyard of Winterfell. Yeah, that's probably better. So it's probably better, to be fair.
Yeah, I thought it was quite cool to have it within Winterfell and stuff. I mean, you could tell that it was a bit rushed because obviously you could tell they had to think of it quickly because he was there on his own. There was no more real guards around him helping him, and then he did the stuff with the arrow where he wasted all the arrow. He wasted his last arrow shooting the giant instead of Jon or something like that. I can't remember what it was. There was something that he did. I can't remember the episode now, but he did something silly with the bow and arrow right at the end. It was kind of like, well, why did you do that? But yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It's crazy. So 55 nights. That is
It's going to be insane. I can't wait for it.
Wow.
I got another bad feeling. It's going to be a little bit hit and miss.
I don't think so. Game of Thrones always deliver. I mean, they do. Fair enough. They rushed the last season, and I feel like the episodes are too quick. Like they travelled around too quickly. But all in all, the series delivered, and the fight scenes with the dragons were just mind blowing. So. As Ali was saying, they actually did set real actors on fire when they had that scene with Phil over, which I've seen the behind the scenes. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's like a whole behind the scenes.
Yeah,
how they did it all. Yes, it's gonna be exciting. I can't wait to go back to watching it before the podcast.
Yeah,
it's gonna be sick. All right, okay. Let's talk a little bit about A Quiet Place because we saw the Quiet Place film. We were going to do a film review. Sat down, filmed it all, and the camera stopped working.
Yeah, we were doing our little review, and
so we'll just do a brief review now. What did you think of the film?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was incredible.
And we're back.
I thought it was really, really, really good. The film was it was gripping, it was interesting, it was well written, the acting was good, everything was just good about it. I wasn't bored at any point. I was on the edge of my seat, partly maybe because I had a person sitting next to me that was probably the most infuriating person.
Talk about it, bro. Talk about it.
So I don't want to talk for too long because I feel like I talk way too much, but there's a guy, I'm going to cut, long story short, I'm not going to make it a long story. Basically, guy sitting next to me, him and his girlfriend walk in, his girlfriend's asking questions the whole time, he's talking the whole time. it's really annoying because they're not even trying to be quiet. He gets his damn feet out of his shoes and puts it on the chair in front of him, and then he pulls. We're in a film called The Quiet Place. It's sign language. It's quiet. The film is really atmospherical. And then I look to my right, and the guy whips a bloody apple out of his pocket and starts eating it. So you see the sign language on screen. You hear the music building up to this massive crescendo of what's about to happen, and then you just hear. And I was like, right, okay, that's my film ruined because of this knob. So yeah, I will have to see that film again to fully enjoy it, but it was still good.
Yeah.
How about you? What do you think of it?
I thought it was good. There's a couple of things I didn't like about it. I'm glad what happened in the first 5 minutes happened in the first 5 minutes because it kind of set the tone for the entire film. But there's quite a few things. I've got a couple of notes written down what I thought about it. I loved the cinema experience. The experience. I've never had a cinema so quiet.
It wasn't for me.
After that, though.
Yeah. You hear a pin drop without the apple.
After he had destroyed the apple.
Yeah.
After he had destroyed the apple, we were in for a treat because it was the first time ever that the cinema's been completely silent, like for a long duration of time as well. But it was I don't know if you'd noticed, I was trying to eat my popcorn, and it was difficult because
I was being courteous and eating it during the loud bits.
Yeah, same.
This motherfucker next to, not you, the guy on the right of me was eating his apple, and the bits where it was all quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. The camera moved a bit.
No, that's because Matt's damn legs. He has no control over anything he's doing.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. My legs just knock everything over. My little spaghetti legs. Just fully onto GFA. All right, bye. Bye then. No, don't be so silly.
Please no.
What else I think? I thought like the nail. There's a nail in the scene, like a screw nail.
Had more screen time than one of the other actors.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I thought it was too much tension. The nail created too much tension that it took away from some of the other scenes. Yeah. Because I was too busy thinking of the nail. Yeah. There's a nail that's caught going upwards. You can obviously tell what happened, especially in a film called The Quiet Place. Done really well, but it just kept bringing tension to it, and it wasn't needed because it kept bringing it more and more and more, and then it was just too much.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
What else have I got here? Something I noticed. Everything was gone in the supermarket at the very beginning. Everything was gone apart from like crisps. So obviously they're too loud. Yeah. Just sort of as a nice little touch.
Like they've thought about it. Yeah, it's quite cool.
The fireworks scene.
Yeah.
That entire scene was incredible. Where she's in the bath, giving birth because she pregs, and
spoiler.
Oh yeah, you see in the trailer. She's pregs, so she was.
Why are you rubbing your chest when you say that?
She was pregs. I don't know why I'm rubbing my top chest. No one's pregnant up here. She was pregs, and she threw me off, bro. And lost my train of thought. And so they got the fireworks to go off at a certain time. Pause. They got the fireworks to go off.
Glad you made yourself yawn. Yep, go continue.
Yeah, I know, right? I don't know why I'm so tired. I slept for about 6 hours today. I'm knackered. So she obviously is pregnant.
Right, we're back to the same. We've started. We've said the same sentence about 6 times.
Someone in the chat just said, "I hate Matt talking. I don't trust him not to spoil stuff for me. I won't spoil stuff for you. Don't worry." So and like when all the fireworks are going off and he's running with the shotgun, just that entire scene is great.
Yeah.
What?
So we have to put this podcast out like 3-4 weeks time now. Everyone knows what's going on in the film.
It's in the trailer.
Is it?
Yeah, I don't remember with the fireworks.
I don't remember it from the film. Yeah, no, I know what you mean. It's good. That's a really good sequence. The whole sequence is brilliant.
In the trailer. It's the last 30 seconds of it. He's running. It's like as he's running. It's all that is. Fucking watch it back. That
was a very good scene. And I think the way it was shot, and because the whole, I think the thing that made that film for me was the set. where they are, the location, and how everything's set up. And I'm not going to say like too much detail, but just the way that it looks, it's so freaking well done that you're kind of like, that is such a cool. The way that they have the lights, it's just, I love it. I thought it was a brilliant film. I thought the way they did it, the way that it was written, the way it was yeah, it's incredible. Go see it. Go see A Quiet Place. Even if you don't like scary films, go see A Quiet Place, because it's more. There's jump scares in it, but that's kind of it. It's not like spooky scary. There's no coming home and feeling scared when you get out of the car or whatever, or it's because it's dark, because there's nothing to relate to. The monster you see the monsters so close up in the film, which I don't think is a spoiler, but if it is, I'm sorry.
Can't trust you if it is spoiler. If you get spoiled by a firework display, you've seen fireworks before.
But when you see the monsters close up, for me it detaches the real life horror away. So I don't believe in monsters, so I'm not scared after the movie. I'm not going home. You know, like sometimes you see a scary film maybe about something you do believe in. I don't know, aliens or ghosts or something. I don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in aliens. But a lot of people do believe in ghosts. If they see a horror film around ghosts, people come home at night and they hear a little noise and they're like, oh God, and they're under their covers all scared. It completely detaches you away from that because you see the monsters so much.
Well, I got home and I
oh God, were you nervous? Were you scared?
No, I just did a little game with myself. I wanted to see if I could get into bed without making a noise. You know how hard that is? You know how hard it is getting into bed without making a noise? How do people go to the toilet in a quiet place? How do people brush their teeth in a quiet place?
Oh yeah, the whole film, in all honesty, is filled with plot holes. What about if you fart? Like, what's going on there? Like, walking through the forest and, oh God. And you hear it rustling. You're like, oh God, you're running. It's chasing, oh shit, you're chasing the smell.
But then, but then obviously, because it's running at you, you then carry on doing it.
you know when you need to go. Like when you need to go and you really exude yourself and you just can't help but let a fart out. He's like running as he's running away. Yeah, that's like it's you're done for. So I don't know. I don't really know how they
as we were walking out, someone was like, "Why don't they just live by a waterfall?" It was like, do you know how houses are built? It's just that's what I thought about. It was a good film. It wasn't amazing, but it was
solid.
It was good just because of the
concept made it really.
Yeah, but also because of the cinema experience. Yeah. I mean, it ended quite weird, but
didn't like the ending. Yeah,
no. Anyway, let's move on before we ruin the ending. The best part is when Emily Blunt dies.
She's
when she gets got. It's like a sex scene. She's having sex with the other guy, Krasinski or whatever.
Yeah.
And then like it comes out of nowhere and it's like, "Ra, can I join?" And she's like, "Hell no, you're a monster." And then he kills her. That's the death scene. Spoiler.
I think you saw a different film. I think you saw A Tight Place.
Is it not called We Need to Be Quiet Place?
Shut up! Your dad's on the way home, place.
Mel just put in the chat, literally spoiling it with a fake spoiler is giving away it doesn't happen. You watch it and you tell me it don't happen, because if not, I'll give you a link to.
Is it a fake? Is it a fake spoiler, or have we double crossed you?
Yeah, double agent
by saying a real spoiler to make you think it's a fake spoiler, to make you think it doesn't happen when it does. Think about that one. When you go to bed tonight.
We have a new Joker on the scene. Someone who wants to be the Joker anyway. Sorry.
Oh right, okay. I thought you meant here. I was like,
no. Well, no. Who do you reckon, actor-wise?
I think I've seen this. No, I haven't.
No, you haven't.
I have no idea.
Isn't that clever?
I thought that a good one. I thought a good Joker would be Gary Skarsgård from It. I thought he'd be quite good. Bill, who the fuck is Gary? Bill Skarsgård. I thought he would be good as It, just because he has that creepy ass smile, and he has. If you look at him without all the It makeup on, forget the clown. I'm not making the clown comparison, but if you see the actual actor, he has that weird one lazy eye and that big old cheesy grin that looks like he's just gonna cut you from ear to ear. So,
yeah. All right. Well, it's not Bill Skarsgård. Any other guesses?
No, that's my only one guess.
Nicolas Cage.
No.
Yeah.
No.
He wants to be the Joker.
Don't let him, please. Could you imagine him being the Joker? He has got that one scene where he's like laughing manically.
Not the bees.
Not the bees. Not Nicolas Cage. Anyone but Nicolas Cage. I'd rather Dwayne Johnson play the bloody Joker.
Some ripped Joker.
Do you know what the Joker's cooking? Dun, dun, dun. That was a WWE reference.
And then the last movie topic I've got. Lucasfilms, obviously Star Wars.
Yeah.
They scan all their lead actors. They scan all their lead actors in case something happens to them, i.e.
Carrie Fisher, yeah.
Carrie Fisher.
Well, I think because a lot of their lead actors are ancient, like, not being horrible, but Harrison Ford, God knows how, bless his little cotton socks, God knows how long he's got left on this earth. He's old.
Bless
he had the door closed on his leg, for Christ's sake. He crashed a plane when he was filming the film on a golf course. I mean, the bloke's on a destructive path, and then Carrie Fisher, bless her, she bit the dust, and then you've got Mark Hamill, who's not even, is that a spoiler?
Ancient, that's funny.
So...
Mel said, would you rather Tommy Wiseau or Nicolas Cage as the Joker?
Tommy Wiseau would be amazing.
No, I want both, and I want them to change halfway through the film with no note to why. They just do, or like every now and again it changes between the two, and no one knows why. I think that'd be great. All right, let's move on to some game news. New Vegas prequel enters beta after 9 years. There's a Fallout game called Fallout. Project Brazil. That's it. I forgot its name. Project Brazil. It's like a prequel to New Vegas. You're tearing me apart, Batman. Yeah. So I'm guessing you'll be the what? It's the courier, isn't it? New Vegas.
Yeah.
Yeah. You'll be the courier. And then you get shot in the head by good old, what's his name? Billy. Bob?
Billy in the striped suit.
Is it Billy?
It's Billy.
It's Ben, isn't it?
No, it's Billy. It's not Bill and Ben the Flower Pot. It's Billy.
Are you sure?
100%.
I don't think it is. I think it's Ben.
My bet's on Billy.
I don't know.
Oh no.
Let me have a look. Can't find the plot. Here we go. It's Benny, isn't it?
That's what I said. Benny.
You said Billy. Is it Benny?
Right. I said Billy. You said
It's
Ben.
Benny.
So together,
I think so.
it's Benny.
Is it Benny?
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I can't. Benny. Is it Benny? Yeah, Benny. I got Ben, so I was closer than you.
Well, no, the Y. You had the Illy. So I had Billy. You had Ben. Together, Benny. Or Bin.
Benny.
Or Bin.
Ben. And he said, I want Nicolas Cage as Harley Quinn. Tommy Wiseau as the Joker.
Oh, hi, Harley.
Oh, hi.
Not the bees.
Not the Harley Quinn. Oh, anyway. Let me move on. I can't stop yawning.
Yeah, you're really
I know, I've got night shift tonight. I've got tour tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
wowzers in my trousers.
Well, shall I see how many people have I got tomorrow? I think I've only got 4 people rushing around. Yeah, I've got 4 people rushing around. Bye. I'm fucking tired of shit. All right.
Brilliant.
PUBG. Oh yeah, there's a PUBG new game mode. So they've not only patent pended the words battle royale, they're also going to try and copyright this thing called Team Deathmatch.
No, they're not.
No, they're not. I'm joking. But they're going into Team Deathmatch. This is it. In war mode, it's called. Not Team Deathmatch. War mode.
War
mode. Squads jump into a small zone on the map with a predetermined set of weapons and kill everyone in sight. If you die, you respawn by jumping out the plane again. The aim is to reach a certain number of points before other squads, and you get points for kills knocked down and revives. Can't people kill you as you're falling out of the plane?
No. Don't think so. I've never been killed on the parachute ever, other than from a glitch in PUBG or Fortnite.
Well, it's still an early stage of development. How it It shan't take you. It can't take you long to do something like that.
No,
Um,
I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see what they pop along with.
yeah, maybe. I mean, PUBG's kind of. Oh, I had a great time streaming PUBG the other day. We've been streaming a lot more because we're just doing other things for our YouTube as we go along. So we're kind of we're kind of just we're flipping between the two. Whatever's readily available for us, we'll do. So if we can't do something, we'll do something else. But we're gonna do when Car comes back from uni in 2 months for good. We'll probably do the spicy noodle challenge.
Yeah,
because I think it'll be fun with more than just us two.
Yeah, unfortunately, famous actor George Carr is going back up to uni this Friday. So he's sadly leaving us again. But he'll be gone for a couple of months while he finishes exams, and then he'll be back for good and have to join real society and get a job. So when he's doing that, he will most likely be on the podcast and plays and the streams and obviously the YouTube videos a lot more. YouTube's taking its time. It's hard to roll it out as regular as we want, and with the winter, everything's just hard to shoot because we've had at least 3 times where we've gone to shoot something big and it's been rained off, and that is such a motivation killer. That on top of just sort of gloomy situations going on behind the scenes at the moment. So we will get back into it, don't you worry. We will be back to our full, happy, loving selves with fantastic content very shortly, hopefully. YouTube will be popping off. Summer's round the corner, so I feel very confident and upbeat about that, and there'll be something hopefully coming to you in the near future.
Yeah, we're gonna release an episode that we shot of something. I just punched you. And then I just need you as well. Every audio listen on the way to work feels like I just got knocked out. We're gonna be releasing an episode on YouTube as a pilot, and then see kind of what people think, and if people like it, we'll carry on shooting, and if they don't, then we'll just scrap it and move on.
Basically.
We really like it.
Yeah.
I feel like you hate it because you've edited it down so much.
Yeah, I think I've got to that point where I watch it back and it annoys me. But once it's finished, once the product's done, it will be good to me again. It's same with Christmas Fear when I was editing that. I mean, Christmas Fear wasn't that good of a video, but at the time, I go back and watch it now and I can actually still enjoy bits of it. When I was editing it, I hated all of it. And then the second it was done and up on YouTube, I was like, oh, I like it again. So yeah, for sure. I think once this is out, once it's out, I think it'd be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, we're just at a little bit of an impasse with what we can and can't film here because it's quite hard to film something, especially in the rain and whatnot as well. And trying to keep, because we've got a lot going on. I'm looking at trying to find a new car somehow. It's got to be somewhat like a Ferrari, but not a Ferrari, not a Ferrari price. I think we're going to settle for a Renault.
They're both French, right? They're not.
They're not.
Spoiler, they're not.
Spoiler. Emily Blunt dies. Spoiler. The monsters are all women.
Oh, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, no. Sorry, just to go back to A Quiet Place quickly. So apart from Emily Blunt dying, people keep saying that The Quiet Place should have been the Cloverfield film.
It could have been. Thinking about it now, it was much more of a Cloverfield film. It could have very well have been a Cloverfield film, more than Paradox, whatever it's called. I know you haven't seen Paradox, but it's pretty dire. So I think it could very well have been a Cloverfield film just because of how there's monsters attacking humans, and again, it's not a spoiler, but that's the premise of the film. There's monsters and there's humans, and the only reason it couldn't have been is because there's absolutely no mention in the Cloverfield films about having to be quiet or that these monsters work on sound.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I guess it wouldn't have really fit into that universe. And then going forward, any other Cloverfield film that was based around that area, would have to have similar monsters unless they did it where, depending on the state you are in America or the area you are in the world, you have different monsters dropping in different areas, and it's like a trial. Like aliens are trialing different types of monsters in different areas around the world to see what's the most effective at wiping out a planet.
That'd be really cool because then you could do loads of different.
Right? That's quite a cool concept. Hollywood, come at us, right? We come up with these ideas like that.
We churn them out.
Where the hell's our $15 million?
Yeah, we churn them out, and then we can get a Tesla, not a Renault / Ferrari. So in the chat, they're just talking quickly about a guy in Scotland is facing prison for making his pug do a Nazi salute. Please tell me.
No, I heard about this. So what it is, I'll give you the context because I heard about this recently. Basically,
is there a video?
Yeah, basically the guy taught his pug to, you know,
look at him.
You know, in the pug. Yeah, he thinks it's fucking hilarious. You know, in the pug. You know, when you go paw and the dog goes yeah, and it gives you its paw. That was not a nice salute. That was me doing the paw, by the way. Instead of teaching it to say shake or paw, he taught it to do that paw thing when he says the word Nazi. Or is it Nazi? Or he says like hail Hitler or something.
He looks so happy.
But he basically said,
I want to see it.
Oh yeah, because his girlfriend said nothing could make her pub look ugly, so he then tried to make it ugly by doing that, by making it a little pug Nazi, a little partsy.
That's quality. Oh, so he's actually a comedian as well.
I mean, I don't understand why he's getting arrested for it, because in my eyes, sure, it's not good to teach hate to kids or anything, but it's a dog. You know, that dog's not going to go into public and then... So the reason you don't teach kids that kind of despicable crap is because you don't want the kid going and repeating it and teaching other kids or saying, oh, you don't want that stigma. You don't want the kid to grow up and be a Nazi. So you don't want him to have those kind of views or opinions or go and affect his friends or go into school and say, oh, miss, by the way, you're a Nazi or something. You know, it happens all the time. Kids learn to swear or go into school and go, fuck off, miss. And then it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, there's this massive... That's the whole idea. A dog's not going to go into the street and someone go, you know, happen to walk past someone that says the word Nazi and the dog's going to go, you know, oh, well, what harm is any of what he's done, really? The fact that he filmed it and put it on YouTube, sure, doesn't send a good message because it could convince other people to do it, and it's not good to publicise that kind of thing. But being arrested for it, the government's gone mad. It's pathetic. In my opinion.
Yeah, it's weird. 30 minutes of the Avengers film has been screened.
I'm glad we glazed right over that.
Yeah. What else there to say?
I don't know. I thought you might add something. I just talked.
Well, I have nothing to add to it. I mean,
cool.
I think it's hilarious. Do you think you should go to prison?
No.
No, yeah. Exactly.
Cool. 30 minutes of the thing been screened? Yeah. What, leaked or screened, did you say?
No, screened. It's funny, the action is epic, and the villains look spectacular. Plus goatees, Groot.
Says who? Whose review's that?
Joe Doty.
Oh.
Marvel CEO.
Yeah, exactly.
No, the voice of Irishman, apparently. Cool. Yeah, anyway. All right, let's carry on back to the topic. There's only a couple left. GTA is now the most profitable entertainment product of all time.
What did you say?
GTA 5 is the most profitable product of all time.
Those microtransactions, they absolutely do my little noggin in. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Hey, the shark cards, the microtransactions, that's how they've done it. I don't know if we have spoke about this before, but everyone knows how money grabbing bastards Rockstar become.
Isn't it funny how everyone just like laps that up, but then as soon as Battlefield do it, no, it's not Battlefield, Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah. Well, I tell you what, no one enjoys that in GTA, but the thing is, the difference is GTA don't charge for any of their DLC, and there was no day one DLC. They took them a year or 2 years to develop the DLC. They release new content on a bi-monthly basis at this point, new cars, new weapons, but they make them ridiculously expensive, so you have to either earn money in game, which takes 40, 50 hours to buy one car of gameplay, or you go and buy a shark card for your real life money, and then you can get the car straight away. So they're basically, but it's not exactly pay to win. Nothing you can buy is indestructible or is invincible, or there's things that are overpowered, sure, but do you know what I mean? So I guess, and because it's not really a competitive game, again, it's not really pay to win. All the competitive modes, the online modes, are in their separate lobbies, so you can't use your own personal vehicles and stuff in them anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way, they've done it in a very good business model to make it not unfair, but just annoying to people that don't have the money to buy it, because they sort of go, you know, you look at a car and you're like, God, that car's $8 million. I would have to play the game. I would have to do like the last heist like 10, 15 times, which is like hours and hours of work. So it'd take you about 20, 30 hours just to afford one car that you can get online and gets blown up by Gary with his rocket launcher. So I think...
Well, Jacob just put in the chat as well, Star Wars Battlefront was a lot different. Microtransactions in that game gave you an advantage against people who don't purchase them. Yeah, but GTA did that as well. Because you could buy...
No, but they give you a massive advantage in Battlefront.
Is it a bigger...
Yeah, it's huge. It's huge.
Huge.
Like they in Battlefront, it would be like, oh, you want to play Darth Vader, who that we've shown in all the trailers, and he's the best Jedi, and if you play him in game, you can kill like everyone on the other team, opposed to, I don't know, Boba Fett, who dies pretty quickly. Then you have to pay like 30 quid or whatever.
Is it actually that bad?
Pretty much. Like you have to play. Someone worked it out. It's like you have to do like 60 something hours of gameplay to unlock Darth Vader, or you can pay 20 quid and unlock him straight away, and then wipe the enemy team. Like, it's so powerful.
Crazy.
So that's kind of, and they also did like weapon skins and stuff. Any way a company can make money that they think's justifiable, they'll do, which is a good business model and it makes sense. But I think that's why the gaming industry is like in such a rut, because corporations are more worried about making money than making games now. And you can really see it when games like, you know, when games that come out, like, I don't know, Fortnite is a really good example. It's a free game unless you want the other version of it. You only get skins. They're not trying to rip people off. You can play the game. You have the exact same advantage as everyone else, no matter what you buy or anything like that.
Yeah.
They've done it really well.
I like GTA 5. Remember when we all had it, we were doing like our own little like heist missions?
Darth Vader's not a Jedi. I meant Sith Lord, whatever. Yes, that was fun when we made our own little heist missions and stuff and did our own little thing. We used to do like car meets, which was quite sad, like drive our really nice cars around that we thought were really cool. When the cars back in the game were like the best cars, like the Lamborghini, now you have like flying Batmobiles and stuff. But yeah, no, for sure, it was so much fun. GTA 5.
I thought it was a great game.
I think I've got something stupid like 100 or 200 hours on that game in total over the last like 2 or 3 years, since it came on PC, but none of them have been in single player. I've played 200 hours of multiplayer and like maybe 3 hours of single player.
Yeah.
It's a
Can I
fun
look
game.
at my Steam profile without actually logging in?
Yeah, you can. You go into Google.
Yeah, but there's so many Mavs. There's only one Captain Mav.
Only 200 hours. I'll tell you. Hang on. It's something like that. It's something close. You have 1,400 hours in some games. Yeah. Do you know what, Clayman? A couple of years ago, I would have been right there with you. But unfortunately, I don't have time anymore. You know, the last 3 years have been like I've played games at maybe a fraction of what I used to. I'll tell you now how many hours I've got in GTA 5 though. And that is
I've got something like 3K plus hours in Dota.
That's crazy. I've got 292 hours in GTA 5, and that's all online, which I think is quite a good little thing, considering that I don't play it a lot and it's online only. That thing.
Yeah, I want to see what my like most played games are.
If I'm honest, I think my highest is only 800 hours, and I think that was like Counter-Strike or something.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I see some people have like thousands. Unfortunately, as much as I play a lot of games, I play a lot of different games. So my total played hours, you know, I probably have got thousands of hours across like loads of games, but I haven't played one game for like such a long time, other than COD 4 back when I played Xbox, because that was like the only game I ever used to play. I've got like days and days on that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I get bored quickly of games.
See, I don't, and I fucking love not getting bored easily.
I wish I didn't. I wish I could stay interested in one thing or one game for ages and ages. But I just, unless that game offers new experiences, I get bored of it quick. I can play a game for like 12, 15 hours and be enjoying every single second, and then all of a sudden it just clicks in me. It's like I'll you know, I could come home every day of the week, play the same game over and over and over again every single day of the week for like 2-3 weeks straight, and then come home one night. I mean, this is back before Mavismith when we actually had time to play games. You come home one night and I'd be like, I don't fancy playing that game, and then I'll just stop. And Fortnite's a great example. Every time I came into my computer to play a game, it would be Fortnite, and I played Fortnite constantly for like 2 or 3 weeks, or maybe about a month, about 3 weeks, and then I haven't played it for a month now. I just haven't touched it. I haven't played any games really, other than on stream.
Yeah, same. So all the games, like my previous games, are all games I play on Steam.
Yeah.
On PUBG, I got 327 hours. On Dota, I've got 3,549 hours. 0.8 in the last 2 weeks. And then you've got that stuff like 7 Days to Die is a lot, and
That's crazy.
I'm trying to see that. Yeah, my top 5 games are Dota 2, Operation Armor 2, so DayZ,
Yeah.
PUBG,
I've got it on that,
7 Days, and GTA.
Wow.
Yeah. And Test Drive 2 is still up there.
We played Test Drive 2 for a while. I think Charlie and I played it for ages as well.
I loved Test Drive.
It was a good game.
Anyway, should we call it? We've been going for about an hour.
Hour and 8 minutes. Before we call it, ladies and gentlemen, anyone in the chat got anything else they want us to talk about before we call the podcast this week?
Yeah,
I caught your stutter there for a second.
You did. You can have it back. You can keep it actually.
Here you go.
No, you can keep it, dude.
No, I don't want it.
Yeah, no, so we're podcast next
next
Monday. Yeah, no, I got it back now. Podcast next Monday is going to be weird because we're not actually here. So, well, I'm not here. You're around.
But I can't do it on my own.
You can't do it on your own. So we're not going to be here. So we'll find a way to make it work. Whether we do it on Thursday, or we do it on Wednesday, or we just don't do it. No, but we will do it. But yeah. Clayman was talking to me whilst I was streaming the other day about this. So, like, there's a guy who got shot pretending to point a gun at police.
In America, obviously.
Yeah, which is absolutely ridiculous because I've seen a copper shoot at a guy before when I was in America in New York, and there's a guy down and he was like being insane, like walking around the cinema, like kicking people, and he ran out. And I didn't see him shoot, but I saw the coppers running in, like guns up. And what happened was the copper just shot him straight in the chest. So if a guy is pointing a gun at a police officer, the police officer's first shot should not be in the chest or the head. It should be in the knee.
Well, in Germany, that's what they're trained to shoot.
Yeah.
You watch German police training.
No one should be, and that's a problem with the American police. And I met on Wednesday a really nice American police woman, not man. Yeah, police woman.
Officer.
Yeah. How dare it's 2018.
How dare you not?
I didn't even ask what her gender was. So I met a police officer, and she was nice, but all of them, they should be trained to shoot knees and arms, not chests and head.
There was a video that came around a little while ago, and it's a side-by-side comparison between America's police training and other countries, and all of the America police training had the targets on the head of the perpetrator. Arguably, yes, because they're allowed to have guns in their country, and therefore they have to learn to protect themselves, and therefore have to aim for the head because it's a kill shot, and the other person could have a gun. However, the only time you're going to use a gun realistically in any situation, in any country, is when the perpetrator you're shooting at has a weapon, has a gun, a firearm. So in Germany, they're trained to shoot other people with weapons in the legs, and if you watch the videos, all their targets are in their limbs, not their vital areas. So
Clayman just said, Matt, no, you shoot to end the threat. Shooting the leg does not end the threat. You shoot to hit. If you shoot the limbs, you'll likely miss. No, I still disagree. You haven't changed my mind whatsoever.
If you're trained, you won't miss.
Yeah, exactly. And if you can't hit, you shouldn't have a gun.
Don't get me wrong. If they have a gun aimed at someone, 100% centre mass to get the person down. As Jacob rightly said, going to do a ball here, but in high stress situations, you're not going to aim for limbs. You're going to shoot centre mass. 100% high stress situations where the other person has a gun. You're absolutely right.
If he's popping off and he's shooting, it's all popping up.
It's all popping up.
If a guy is spraying a gun around, killing people,
or even just aiming a gun, centre mass straight away.
No, I would disagree.
What if the guy aims a gun at you? You're not going to take him down centre mass. He raises a gun towards you. It's your life or his. You're going to take centre mass.
Yeah, but right. So what Clayman's saying here is that the guy He didn't aim a gun at the police. He was pretending to aim a gun.
But they don't know he's pretending. It's
Yeah,
like
but-
someone aiming a BB gun at the police. They think if they think it's a real gun, they're going to kill him. I agree with that.
Yeah, but then, so for example, the one that was in New York and they killed that guy. He was
Well, he didn't have a gun, though.
He was just walking around.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Even if someone is not armed, even if they're sprinting at you, the worst they're going to do is hit you in the face and maybe disarm you. Well, if you're not trained to do hand-to-hand combat as a police officer, you're not worth your what's the term I'm thinking of?
Badge.
Well, yeah, okay, we'll say that. You're not worth the badge. You're not worth the boot you're standing in if you're not trained to take hand-to-hand combat or to use your truncheon or taser or whatever you're equipped with, CS gas in most cases. So I'm sorry, you should not have a gun pulled on someone that doesn't have a weapon. Knives and machetes. There's a very good video of UK police dealing with people with massive axes, machetes, knives, and being able to take him down without him dying or even being injured, to be honest with you, with hand-to-hand combat and training with gas and batons. But baton. But unfortunately, at the end of the day, unless the person has a firearm, then there's absolutely no reason to be aiming for head or centre mass. To be fair, a lot of the videos that I've seen of police shootings in America, I'd say 99% that I've seen personally, the other person has had a weapon, or at least had a fake weapon. So I don't blame them for not wanting their own life to end at the sake of a person with a gun.
If they're popping off, but say for example, we're in the police force. A guy's looking at me with a gun.
What do you mean looking at you with a gun?
Right,
aiming at you?
Yeah,
you kill him.
Right, no, he's aiming at me. No, listen, he's aiming at me.
Okay.
And you're behind him.
Okay.
He doesn't know you're there.
Okay.
What are you shooting at? He's aiming a gun at me, but we're just talking. What are you shooting at?
I'm killing him. Because if I shoot him in the leg and he pulls that trigger, you're dead if he's aiming at you.
But why not shoot him in the arm?
Because he can still pull the trigger. That doesn't stop him pulling the trigger.
Well, if you shoot his arm, he can't.
He can still pull the trigger, especially muscle reaction. You can't risk that if he's aiming at someone.
You don't want to kill me?
Well, I never said that.
It should be avoided, and I feel like
any situation where it can be avoided, absolutely. Absolutely. But unfortunately, as I said, that comes down to training. German police, they have dealt with people with guns very effectively, and there's less fatalities, and they're trained not to go for kill shots. But if there's someone has a gun, of course you can go for a kill shot. High stress situations, of course, same applies. If something happens where you accidentally, it happened in this country, someone ran at a police officer, an armed police officer in this country with a knife. The police officer reacted and was obviously worried for his own life, pulled the gun out and just pulled the trigger, happened to hit the person square in the head. Because the guy was very close to him and he pulled the gun up and just shot and killed him. It was a huge thing a couple of years ago. I can't remember it's a massive case in this country actually, and it was all over the news. And there was huge. It caused a riot. I can't remember his name now. It was the death that caused the riots back in 2012 or whatever it was.
Oh really?
Yeah, it's because a police officer shot a guy in the head and it was unnecessary because he wasn't actually armed, but the police officer panicked. Shit happens, unfortunately. They're trained their best, but, there's always going to be mistakes. But, yeah, I agree with you.
There's so many situations where you can criticise, but it's a high-stress situation. Not all the time.
They're not always high stress. There's a lot of situations where, again, there's videos all over Live Leak, and I won't link anyone, but I'm just telling you that there's videos where there's a person, and I have to say it's a lot to do with black people in America, as in the way that they're treated by the police, which we know is an issue. That there's no stigma about that. There's no bloody, oh well, it's not real and all this stuff. It's very real. It's very evident that it's real. There is a lot of racism in the police, and I'm sorry if you don't believe that, but the evidence is quite clear. It's a lot of times when they're causing a commotion, shouting and screaming that they're going to punch someone, and the police officer pulls a gun and shoots him. And I've seen loads of videos like that. And I'm sitting there going, well, what actual threat is he posing to you other than hitting you in the face? And there's 5 police officers. Take him down. Like, I know you don't know if he's armed, but you'll know if he's armed if he's just...
Yeah.
I can't... Yeah.
Annoying, isn't it? Oh, well, anyway, let's... why do we always seem to talk about gun laws? Clayman says, Jive, there's not a whole lot from what I can see.
Go do your research, boyo. There's a hell of a lot.
If you want us to, we'll talk about it next week.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into guns.
We'll get into it next week.
Yeah.
So we'll carry on the trend of guns
Yeah.
being brought
Well,
up.
that's what our podcast's going to end up being. It's just going to be...
It's just a gun talk.
Just gun talk. That's all it's going to be. It's just going to end up in loads and loads of just it's just going to be a gun podcast, and then YouTube will take us down because we're talking about guns.
Yeah, because we're talking about guns. All right, Damn,
Mel dropping the mic.
Mel just dropping the mic right now. All right. Anyway, we're gonna call here. Thanks for tuning in to Massive Podcast number 34. It's been an absolute pleasure, a delight, and fun-filled trampoline-esque podcast. Have you got anything else to say?
Been a roller coaster of emotions, ladies and gentlemen.
It's been miserable to upsetting to miserable to gun laws.
Back to miserable.
We hope you've enjoyed it. Our stream schedule for this week is a little all over the place.
I may very well do a solo stream tomorrow.
Yeah.
If I can cram that one in for you guys, because I know someone was requesting it in the chat.
Yeah, I'm going to do a stream Wednesday during the day, and then we're going to do a stream together on Wednesday night. Thursday, I'm going to do a stream during the day, and Friday night, we're going to do a stream, both GFA and I. So that's what's going to happen. Do a stream after the podcast.
The audience wants more.
But yeah, so that's going to be the one. That's going to be our schedule for this week. So hopefully we see you around. Matt, you're the one who started talking gun laws. Yeah, but so encore. They're asking for an encore. Well, we're going to end the podcast here. So thanks for tuning in.
We have to end the podcast either way. We have to stop streaming to end the podcast. Keep an eye on our Instagram, and maybe something will continue after this.
If you're lucky, something might. Ciao, guys.
See you later, guys. Thanks for tuning in.